All right, good morning again, everybody. So this is an extra added bonus video because I did my e-group last night, and we were doing Crash the Chatterbox. What? Best book ever written, Mary's opinion. It truly, truly is. And this is the second time I've read through it. I didn't read through all of it the second time, though, because I ended up starting the e-group like in chapter 7, 6, 7, something like that. So actually the last couple days I felt very discouraged. So I'm just sharing this. Like, I've just not very discouraged like I have been before, where to the point where it's been almost depression, but I've just been discouraged. And I think a lot of it had to do with baby girl, because she was crying when I had to bring her back, and like I just couldn't figure out really, like, I mean, she's gonna be okay, because I pray for her all the time. That I just couldn't figure out like where my discouragement was coming from, because God has blessed me so much this week. I'm not even going to share it with you. Like, if you know me, like, I will have told you. I probably, or will tell you. Or you have to be close to me, honestly, so, which is only a handful of people. So anyways, point is I've just been very discouraged. And yesterday, you're supposed to read chapter 13 and then the end little portion, and it was talking about discouragement. And I'm just going to read something from this book, and I'll read to you, and then I'll tell you what I got out of it. As far as me last night, it says, since I'm Crash the Chatterbox, page 192, it says, how do you come out of the prison of discouragement? First of all, discouragement is prison? What? I'm not trying to be in no prison, whether man-made or spiritually made, okay? It says, how do you come out of the prison of discouragement? That's the question. The same way you come into the presence of God, with praise. What? I'm trying to remember what I was going to read to y'all. Okay, so then the other thing that I wanted to read is, okay, this is the last part. It's on page 198. It says, gratitude reinterprets the situations in our lives, beginning with the baseline acknowledgement that we don't deserve any of what we've been given, any of what we've been given. It's all a product of God's grace. What? And this is the part that really spoke to me yesterday, because it wasn't just baby girl. I'm starting to get discouraged about some other things. I'm not going to share. One of the things was the one thing that's kind of got me discouraged. I'm not sharing that, but one of the other things was I want to go to Israel, like so bad, so bad, but there's like so many areas in Israel, like, I guess, where government employees are not supposed to go. And I've just been asking God, because like I want to go, like I want to see Israel, you know what I'm saying? And I'm asking God to just protect me and be with me, because I'm going. What? This girl is going. Okay, so sorry, it's supposed to be about discouragement. I think I'm getting better. It says, but discontentment is empowered by a sense of entitlement. And there is an inverse relationship between gratitude and entitlement. When entitlement is high, gratitude is low. When gratitude is high, entitlement is low. Gratitude begins where our sense of entitlement ends. What? I have to remember that I'm not entitled to anything on the face of this earth. I can talk. God chooses to bless me because he chooses to bless me. Whatever he chooses to bless me with, whenever he chooses to bless me with, whoever he chooses to bless me with, it's his choice, not mine. I have to stop thinking that I am entitled. Like, God is teaching me so much about myself. It's scary. Like, I don't think I guess I didn't think I was entitled, but reading this is like, wow. A lot of us just think, oh yeah, we should have this, we should have that, but last night what really got me after I read this was that, to me, what I equated discouragement with was me, my situation, how I'm looking at things, why it's not this way, why it's not that way. It was all about me. It wasn't about baby girl, wasn't about my children, and I'm just using that as an example. It wasn't about, how they feel or anything like that. It was all about Mary and Mary's emotions and how she's going to be hurting and how she's going to be crying. It was all about Mary. You know what I'm saying? So I guess I felt entitled that I shouldn't have to go through pain. Entitlement is just not about stuff that we, feel like we're supposed to have, but that, Jesus, there's somebody over there. Sorry. It's also about, certain ways that we feel and how we shouldn't have to go through pain, how we shouldn't have to go through this, that's part of entitlement too to me. So discouragement equated with me. And so it was all about me. So when I focus all about me, when I focus all about Mary, why this, why that, why not this, why not that, I get discouraged, But if I choose to focus, and I'm going to say it like this, and I know it's going to be really corny, to have an attitude of gratitude, then that changes, And if I put my focus on God, just like this said, and darn it, I shut the book, but it was talking about, what page did I say? How do you come out of the prison of discouragement? So the same way you come into the presence of God with praise. When I start praising God, when I start thanking God for everything that he has done for me, for everything that he has given me, just for who he is, I change the center focus from me to him. And my discouragement goes away. So I hope this helps someone if you're discouraged, because I started getting really discouraged this last couple of days. There's no reason, like if I could tell y'all the things that God has done for me this week, there is no reason why I should be discouraged. Absolutely zip, zilch, zero. What? Zero. Okay? And it was crazy because I was starting to feel discouraged, and the enemy likes, to make me feel that way, and it's a prison. Like I said, I'm not going to be in that prison. So bottom line, if you're discouraged, look at yourself. And I know this might be a hard pill to swallow, but look at yourself, because if you're discouraged, it's like me. And you might be starting to feel like you're entitled to not having to go through pain. Maybe you should have this. Maybe you should have that. Maybe you should have that person. Whatever the situation is you're starting to feel entitled. And if you flip the focus to God and you focus in on him and you start thanking him, that discouragement goes away. God, I thank you so much for this. God, I thank you for this. God, I thank you for that. You know what I'm saying? Like I told the ladies last night in my E group, I said, you know what? There's no reason for me to be discouraged. Set aside everything that God has done for me this week. Like I used to be homeless at one point. You know what I'm saying? So why should I, of all people, feel discouraged about anything? I can sit and think of the life that I had. Like after I turned 18, like I was like out of my house, you know what I'm saying? And I had moved in with my aunt. She kicked me out for whatever reason. I could tell you the reason, but we'll just leave it like that because whatever. So, so I was homeless, and I was hanging around people I shouldn't have been hanging around, people that were into drugs, people that were into doing a bunch of stupid stuff, you know what I'm saying? So, where God has taken me from, to now, and just like realizing the things with baby girl, with her mom and the situation she's in, it's like, look at how much I've given you. Look at how much you have, not that it's in the things, but it's like, okay, you don't have to worry about, do you have shelter over your head? You don't have to worry about, do you have food to put in your mouth each and every minute? You know what I'm saying? Stop being discouraged, chick. That's the way I felt, because God has given me so much. I'm not on the streets, trying to figure out what I'm going to do. I got pregnant, like when I was 18, and it's like, I'm not there now. You know what I'm saying? Like if I could tell y'all the most disgusting stuff, I'm not even going to share it. But, where I was at, and I know that was a long time ago, and it almost seems like it never happened. And the things that I did were just horrific, stupid, disgusting, sinful, and I'm not even going to make excuses. I could, but whatever. But the point is if I look at even where I was, maybe that's what you need to do. Look at where you were. If you're discouraged, look at where you were and where God has you right now. Stop it. Just kick the enemy out. The discouragement that he's trying to put in you out. Because God has done so much for us. What? So much for us. My God, we're a bunch of spoiled brats. What? That's how I'm going to end. We are a bunch of spoiled brats. You may think you're lacking. You may think, oh, well, I have to live paycheck to paycheck, whatever. So you're not like the Joneses. Who cares? God is providing for you each and every day. What? So you're dependent upon him. What? And he still gives you your needs and all of it, like not all of your wants, but your wants, God, we're spoiled brats. We are. Anyways, I hope that this has helped someone as far as discouragement, because discouragement, I'm going to end like this. Discouragement to me equates me. Me. No discouragement equates focusing on God and giving him praise for everything. If you think you don't have something, look again. Look again. It's all about your view. It's all about your perspective, because it's not true. The enemy's trying to trick you. Think and look at how much you have. What? I don't know. I hope this spoke to someone, because, yeah, like, it just really did to me. Like, discouragement is all about Mary, 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 Mary. And to not have discouragement is to praise God and to thank him for everything he's given me, because he has given me so much, so much. What? All right. Y'all have a great day. Bye.